G'day guys, Steve Morgan here, Fishing Monthly Magazines at Coffs Harbour on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. Got Dayne Taylor here with me from North Coast Boating Centre, a Formosa and Suzuki dealer. And you are in the middle of some awesome inshore and offshore snapper fishing here, and we've got a boat today that's set up to do exactly that, haven't we, Dayne?
We sure do. That's exactly what we've tried to do with our stock boats, is design one and have it on the floor that's going to suit the guys that are going to use them here on the Coffs Coast. So we've got all the right features that they want from a boat.
Now let's run through this. It's a Formosa hull, and Formosa have just recently, they've sort of modified their reasonably complicated hull range down to something simpler. Tell us what it's called and tell us about it.
Yeah, you nailed it. They basically just simplified it. They've merged the Sea Rod and Tomahawk range into one easy to identify SRT range. And that's exactly what we've got here today.
Now, this one we've got in particular to test. It's got some of the features you say you put in to suit local anglers. The first one is that quad ballast system. Tell us about it from the hull up, what you've done to this rig.
All right, yeah, so this one has got the Quad4. The Quad4 is 4 chambers that run along the bottom of the hull. They're designed to fill up with water and make it more stable at rest. So when you're out in that sloppy conditions, it's just going to stick in the water a lot better. We've also added the single axis transom door. We've got a lot of spear fishermen out here, so they like to get in and out of the boat. We've also added a bench seat, the kill tank, and the electric motor mount. It just seems to be what our customers want from a boat, so that's what we give them.
Now, the coast here, guys like for going long runs up and down the coast. That centre cab makes it a comfortable ride out and home if it gets a bit nasty, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So, whether you're taking the wife and kids for a cruise offshore one day, you get a bit of protection, or if you want to cruise, 30, 40 miles up and down the coast in a rough conditions, that centre cab definitely makes a difference. It makes it more comfortable and enjoyable.
Now, as a fisherman, I noticed that the centre cab probably takes up a lot of that front of the boat fishing space. So if you're someone that wants to have a couple of guys fishing up the front, you'd probably opt for the same design but maybe a longer hull? Yeah,
exactly. The range goes right up into the 7 metre mark, and this guy's quite a small boat to have a centre cab, and yeah, you could, if you wanted to make more fishing room up the front, definitely go a larger model, but this hits the price point more so.
Exactly. So, and you've put this on a reasonably simple twin-axle Dunbier mechanical override brake trailer, which you can tow with nearly anything, can't you?
Yeah, you can tow it with any light forward drive. And one of the main reasons we like to go with the Dunbier is anglers like to travel these days, and there's not many big cities up and down the coast that don't have a Dunbier dealer. So if you do run into troubles, you're going to get back on the water really quick.
Yeah, that's it. And even places like Super Cheap can sell spare parts that are going to fit this trailer, don't they?
Exactly right.
Now, the jewel in the crown, of course, is that 150 horsepower lean burn Suzuki 4-stroke on the back. You guys are a Suzuki dealer, so you know all about the durability and reliability of these things. How do you reckon it matches up with this craft?
It goes really well. It gets about 70 plus k's an hour. But that lean burn technology is where it's at, mate. It's fuel efficient. You're going to be on the water for longer, and it's going to have more of this money in your pocket at the end of the day, which everyone's about these days.
That's it. So look, we never believe the dealers. We're going to put this boat on the water and come back to you with some performance statistics. Well, there you go. That's the first time we've boat tested at Coffs Harbour, and what a great arena to put some of these boats through their paces, both this big Formosa, and we also had a smaller tinny out today. Still a bit of leftover swell for some wind in the previous days, so we got to test it in calm water, some stand-up water on the headlands, and then some just standard ocean faring conditions out there. This SRT 550 Classic Formosa, it's a really good package for the money. The package that we drive today is $59,990 for a full 5.5 metre centre cab plate aluminium boat built in southeast Queensland, and that's on the twin axle trailer that you can tow with any twin cab ute or even smaller. Performance wise, 74 kilometres an hour on flat water at 5,900 RPM with this 150 horsepower Suzuki. But the cruising speeds that you're going to be travelling at most times when you're going to and from your fishing spots, anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 RPM gives you that 2 kilometres per litre. And that's as granular as we can get with the fuel metering that was available on this boat. I'm pretty sure that it will be up over that 2 kilometres per litre if we could get it to a finer point. Cruising at 3,500 RPM goes 30 kilometres an hour using that 2 kilometres per litre. Now, with a 150 litre fuel tank on board, that gives you 300 kilometres of range when you're out on the water. And for most people buying this boat, that is going to be plenty for a big weekend away. In the rougher water, this is a very beamy boat with a 2.5 metre beam. It's actually 5.5 metres long, 2.5 metres wide. So my feeling is with this SRT hull, if you're in really rough water all the time, a longer hull in the SRT, maybe the closer to 7 metre hull with this hull configuration is going to ride a little bit better. This boat tended to ride over the swell rather than through the swell due to that beam. Now the corollary of that is stability at rest is amazing. Like, there's a couple of us sitting on the starboard side of this boat right now, and there is an inch or two of difference in stability. So, like all boating, it's a compromise between rough water handling ability and stability at rest, and this SRT really has that stability at rest. The active transom that they have is available in several configurations, and whether you're spending all your time in the boat fishing or in and out of the water, diving, snorkeling, taking the kids out, this transom gives you good access to the water there. Otherwise, I really like at the helm position, the windscreen is at exactly the right height. If you stand up, you're looking over it. If you're sitting down, you're looking under it. I really like the foot pegs as well. It's something I haven't seen in an aluminium boat before. Just those raised pegs to give your feet something to lock into when the conditions are a little bit joggly. There's actually plenty of room in that small cabin. There's 5.5 metre boat, you think you can't fit much in a centre cabin. There's more in there than you'd think, and I think the actual centre cabin is about the same size as some 7 metre aluminium plate boats that I'd tested. Otherwise, it's a very pleasant boat to be out on the water from. It doesn't mind a bit of trim. You will feel the boat respond to trim when you're out there, which means that when you're on flat water, you can really trim it up and get a lot of this hull out of the water and have some fun driving it. As I said, the package as we tested, $59,990, drive away from North Coast Boating Centre. If you want to save a few bucks, you can put the 140 Suzuki on it and get it for about $6,000 cheaper, $54,000. All you need to do is add your electronics, i.e. your Minn coder at the front and your sounder in the boat, and you will have a package price ready to go away. But make sure you go and you want to check one out, go for a test drive, see Dayne and the guys at North Coast Boating Centre, and they can point you in the right direction.